Back to China Take. The recent crash landing of an Asiana Airline plane in San Francisco's International Airport has been getting extensive media coverage, but it took on a special meaning in China. That's because the two who were killed were Chinese teenagers. China's official news agency Xinhua says that the two were middle school students in Zhejiang province. They were supposed to attend a summer camp in the U.S. Investigators are now saying the plane was traveling way below its target speed for landing before it crashed short of the runway. And the airline says the pilot in charge of landing the Boeing 777 was in training for flying the model of jet. Reports say that was his first flight into San Francisco at the control of a 777. Our researcher Julia Liu joins us now for a look at how Chinese netizens reacted to the accident. Julia, I would expect reactions to be strong.
Well, as for the reactions, of course, many have expressed their condolence for the victims amid the accident. And the poster on Sohu.com feels deeply sorry for the situation. While it seems that natural or man-made disasters exist anywhere, I wish the pitiful children could rest in peace. And Tiandi Tongling from Guangdong says, sadly, the girls lost their lives at such a beautiful age. It is a bolt from the blue for their parents. And some posters take the blame on the school which organized the summer camp. And the poster on 163.com remarks, well, the schools are making profits from the students' overseas travel and let the students pay all the expenditure so that the accompanying teacher can enjoy a free trip. And this anonymous poster on Sina.com.cn views that people should think from the bright side. Well, it is already a miracle that only 2 people were killed amid such a serious accident. And the Shan Yao Xingkong has this to say. At all events, it is important to rescue all the injured and offer them psychological intervention. And the exact cause of the accident should be figured out.
Now, Julia, reports say that most of the passengers were Chinese, South Koreans, and Americans. Why were so many Chinese on the flight to San Francisco? And how do netizens feel about Asiana Airlines?
Well, cheap tickets price seem to be the main reason for so many Chinese passengers on board the Asiana plane. As Xi Xiangdong points out, during summer vacation, a peak season for trip to the U.S., the ticket price at Asiana is 20 to 30% cheaper than the American Airlines. And Zhai Shen Nulang de Yiyu adds, well, the Chinese passengers setting off from Shanghai transferred at Seoul for San Francisco because this was much cheaper than a direct flight. And another poster from Guangdong also says, well, a big group of the passengers was Chinese students for overseas trips, so there might be considerations of saving money. And as you can imagine, criticism to the Asiana are noticeable at the Chinese online community. And this poster states, although Asiana Airlines are believed to have a good service, they should bear in mind that safety is equally important. And 我爱名牌狂 says harshly, I think the accident had nothing to do with the weather. It is the pilot's misoperation that caused the loss of the innocent people. We should no longer choose the untrustworthy Korean airlines. And Han Dou agrees. Well, the plane was flying quite low when landing due to bad performance of the pilots, and their efforts of gaining the altitude failed. While Liu Sha Suiyue wants a defense of the Asiana Airlines, saying, I think the pilots and stewards had done a good job, or else the situation would be even worse. And moreover, some indignation is triggered at the Chinese online community, as according to a News One agency, Korean TV host Yin Qingmin said this on the air. Well, it is very fortunate that the 2 Chinese died amid the accident, not Koreans. And Ma Xiaoga from Shandong argues, well, on the one side, Asiana Airlines officials bowed and apologized to the public for the fatal accident. And on the other side, the Korean host made this improper remark. Someone should know the victims are human lives, regardless of nationalities.
All right. This accident might be considered an exception to the rule, but many Chinese believe passengers of airline accidents have a slim chance of survival. Why do netizens think about revising air safety measures?
Well, yes, there are some discussions about safety tips online. And the post on 163.com says, well, research by the University of Greenwich shows that the passengers sitting close to the emergency exit have a relatively higher survival rate amid air crash. But the research is about planes having only 5 seats in a row. The more seats in a row, the lower the survival rate is. And this poster adds, well, at a critical moment, distance of the escape route determines the safety levels. and CD man reiterates the basic rule of fastening the seatbelt on the vehicle. Well, actually, according to CCTV, one of the two victims did not fasten the seatbelt when the accident happened and was thus thrown out of the plane when it crashed the runway. And this poster says, well, some youngsters might have no idea of how to protect themselves. Seatbelt is for them to use, not to watch. And Qi Nuo from Shanghai also says, I will never unfasten the seatbelt ahead of the time again. Well, I always thought a seatbelt was unnecessary when the plane was already landing. Now I realize it is right to follow the flight attendant's directions. And moreover, some net users stress no carrying of luggage when people are escaping with their life. A photo posted online about a woman hurrying off the plane with her luggage is widely criticized. As Bie Yang de Qiuge says, well, carrying big luggage may affect the speed of flight for everyone. It may break the escaping slide for the plane as well. And this poster has this warning. Well, don't be selfish to only think about yourself. Your belongings may put the other's precious life in danger. And finally, more tips are provided by a post on Sina.com.cn. Well, manage to wear a smoke-proof hood, as the poisonous gas and smoke can be dangerous. Moreover, adjust your gesture before the crash. Put back your shank and press your head close to the knees.
Thanks a lot, Julia. That was our correspondent, Julia Liu, on Chinese netizen reaction to the death of two Chinese teenagers on board that Asiana Airline flight that crash-landed at San Francisco's International Airport. After the break, some of the hottest trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.